Hey guys, how's it going? Today in this video, I want to talk about how to read a plant tag. So what information to look for so that you can have more success in the garden. I know it can be confusing when you go down to the garden center and you see all these beautiful plants. All of them have different tags and no two tags are the same. So I want to talk about the things that I look for when I'm down shopping at a garden center, and I do a lot of garden center shopping. Of course, I shop a lot at my parents' garden center, but it's one of my favorite things to do when Aaron and I get out of town for the day or when we're on vacation. I love to go to garden centers because it's inspirational to me and I find lots of different things that I'm maybe not familiar with or that we don't get at our garden center. So I find myself looking at plant tags. The four major things I look for are growing zone, light requirements, size, and bloom time. And then usually I love it when plants include information like special care instructions and special characteristics. Not all tags do, but some will, and that's really helpful. So let me start with growing zone, and I'm going to use this Bloomerang Dark Purple Reblooming Lilac tag as an example. Actually, all three of these plants that I have as examples are things that I'm getting ready to plant in my own garden, and this lilac is about ready to start blooming. It's going to be pretty. So, of course, the front of the tag, picture of the blooms with the name. You open it up and there's tons of information. So the first thing I look for is the growing zone, which is right here. It says that this lilac is a zone 3 through 7. I know that I live in a zone 5, so I know this plant will survive. If you're not sure what your growing zone is, you can watch a video we just put together on growing zones, kind of explaining what it is and showing you how you can figure it out. You can also ask somebody at your local garden center. They should know what growing zone you are. So if you're out and about and you're looking at a shrub tag, for example, and it says that it's a zone 5 through 8, and you live in a zone, let's say, of 4, you know that you cannot plant that plant because it will not withstand winter temperatures down as low as your winters get. However, if you're somebody that lives maybe in a zone 6 and you're looking at a tag that says zone 5 through 8, you know that it will survive in your area. So it's just really important to know because you can really eliminate a lot of plant choices just based on growing zone. You don't want to spend a lot of time learning about things that you won't end up surviving in your garden. The second thing I look for is light requirements. So this one says it needs sun. So there's kind of a scale. There's full sun all the way to full shade and somewhere in between. So I kind of wanted to explain what that means. So something that says it needs sun or full sun means that it needs at least 6 to 8 hours of sun per day in order to perform, to bloom really nicely, to look nice and full and not leggy. And then right in between, it might say part sun, part shade, and that means it needs 4 to 6 hours of light. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have full shade plants that need like 4 hours of sun or less. And usually if it's getting any sun, it needs to be morning sun and not afternoon because afternoon sun is a little bit too intense. Okay, so the third thing I look for is size. And this is super important, especially if you're dealing with shrubs, trees, or evergreens, because you want to make sure that the big structure pieces in your garden have plenty of space to grow. So this one says that it grows 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. So this needs plenty of space in order to get to its nice size so that I don't need to be pruning on it all the time. I wouldn't want to put it in a space that's 3 by 3 because then it would become a chore. I'd have to prune it all the time and I don't want to have to be doing that. So just make sure that you're allowing enough space. It's not as important when you're dealing with perennials and annuals. You can kind of get away with putting them a little bit closer together than you can with other things. And I know it's a little hard because you look at this little shrub and it's like 2 feet tall right now and you never think it's going to get, you know, to this 6 foot tall size, but it will. The fourth thing I look for is bloom time. And right here it says this blooms in the spring, midsummer to frost. So this is kind of an amazing shrub. This is a lilac that reblooms all year. Not all plants do that, and that's why it's important for me to look for that on tags because I want to make sure every area in my garden has something interesting to look at all year long. I want to see blooms in spring and in summer and in fall, and then I like to make sure there's a little evergreen interest in every area or something especially pretty like an Arctic fire dogwood with really bright red stems. I want to make sure that every season has something pretty to look at. So that's something that's really important to me. And then, like I said, some tags will include additional care information or when to prune or how much water or fertilizer they need, as well as other special characteristics like whether or not they're drought tolerant or if they can tolerate wet soils, whether or not they attract hummingbirds or butterflies, or if they're deer resistant. So like this tag here gives you care, tells you to fertilize in the spring. It also tells you to prune right after blooming. It says it likes moist soil but well drained. And then not all tags are like this, but this one actually includes a planting guide with a picture, which is amazing. I love tags with lots of information. You can learn a lot of things by reading them. So let me just show you this annual and perennial tag here. I'll start with this perennial. This is an autumn frost hosta right next to me. Gorgeous foliage. Look at this plant. It's gonna be so pretty in the shade. So I can tell that it's a shade to part shade lover. It grows 12 inches tall, and then I flip it over and I can find zone information, light requirements, size, bloom time, and then it has special features and care there. This one actually has something additional. It says good things to pair it with. So what it looks really pretty paired with, and things that have similar requirements as far as light and water, which is really amazing. And then we have this annual tag. This is a Super Belle's Tropical Sunrise, which looks so pretty. So you flip the tag over and it gives you all that important information that I just went over, like zone, light requirement, height and width, bloom time. And then it also gives you fertilizer information like regularly for best results. It tells you it likes normal water, and then it also gives you some features like telling you it's heat tolerant, deadheading is not necessary. That's always a good thing to know. Save a lot of time knowing you don't have to deadhead something. And it says fall interest. So I know when I plant this thing, which it's kind of early to mid-spring right now, and I can plant this now because it's more cold tolerant, and it'll go all through the spring, all through the summer, and all the way through a hard frost. Like, that's an amazing annual to plant out in your garden. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, so the next time you're down at a garden center looking at a bunch of plant tags and looking at all the confusing information, you know exactly what to look for. You can look through and say, oh, there's the zone, there's the light requirements, there's the size, and all that other information that we talked about in this video, so that you know what will do well in your areas, in the spots in your garden where you want things to look pretty and to thrive. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, if it was helpful, please leave a like down below, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.